Hello guys, welcome to Pro Mixing and Mastering. Today we are doing mixing and mastering from start to finish in Cubase 5. And before I go anywhere, make sure you just a reminder, subscribe to this channel and leave this video a like. Just get a listen to what I am about to work on. The volume is a little bit low, but all the same we're going to see how we're going to work around this. So here we go. He will do it again. We'll do it again. He will heal you again. And with the vocal turned on, unmuted. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you before, he will heal you again. And if he blessed you before, he will bless you again. So don't worry. All right, the instrumental is really low, like very low, so I just want to turn it up a little bit. For example, let me mute the vocal and show you what I'm talking about. Look at this area. So the instrumental is like somewhere here, which is really low. So what I'm gonna do is try to balance the instrumental before I come to the vocals. Now I'm gonna try to lift it up just a little bit like this, starting with this one, keys on, then this is keys on, yeah, piano, grand piano, then this is our clean guitar. This one right here is just purity, and this one is sonatina piano. I love it. Sonatina violin, beautiful violin, and there is clean guitar again. Basically these are the only instrumentals that I'm using right now. So let's start with this one. So I'm just gonna raise it up like this. All right, then next I'm gonna raise this one. The next I'm gonna raise this is a pad, one pad I love just to fill up the empty spaces. I want the guitar, to be heard more, so what I'm gonna do is just increase it. There is fab filter on my guitar, a compressor. I'm compressing it, and there is CLA on my guitar. Well, this is CLA vocals. I just wanted it to have the reverb. It's working out for me. Then I have Pro Q. Yeah, I put it there, and I removed the lows, cut to about 45 somewhere there, and then I boosted up in the 2K area, which is plus 3.47. I wanted to bring back that body and just a little bit of a bite on the guitar. Yeah, and then the keys on, I put in FabFilter C2, which is I gave it a really hard ratio, threshold, I mean, a ratio of about 2.85 to 1. It's like the threshold is really low, so that I can have this with a lot of transients being controlled. So it's working for this type of on this type of song. The compression is working, though it's really like hard compression, so it's okay. Just to control it just a little bit. And then I have my purity. I put a compressor on every instrument so that the instruments can be, it's a solo instrument, so I wanted all the instruments to sound solid. So this is why I threw in a compressor and also an EQ to cut the lows and just remove the other frequencies, since it's a solo instrument. Then sonatina violin, I boosted up 550 somewhere there, 550k, and then I put in compressor again. Then I put in CLA vocals stereo for I just wanted the reverb. I love the reverb. So, and then Pro EQ, this one right here. Remember, this other side I did a cut, a boost, I mean, then I cut a little bit. So I did a cut and then a subtractive, and then I did add this side, so just to balance it up. So whenever you do your cutting, if it's too much, make sure you add in a second EQ so that you can boost the areas which you had cut, just to balance it up. That's one of the things that I do. So as you can tell, I just increased the volumes and the instrumental sounds good. Why? Because I put a compressor, FabFilter C2 compressor. It's really good. So right now what I'm doing is increasing sonatina violin. If you don't have this violin, just DM me, I'll send it to you if you're one of my subscribers. It's nice. So let me go to the vocals, and from there I'll be balancing here and there. Then what I'm gonna do, once I feel that the instrumental is balanced, what I'm gonna do is that together with the vocals, once the this instrumental is balanced and then the vocals are balanced together with the instrumental, then I will mute the vocals and then I will bounce this instrumental by exporting it. And then once I export it into a WAV format, which is 24-bit, from there I'll bring it back, I'll delete this, I'll bring it back, I'll throw it in, and then I will mix down with these. And then from there, once I mix down, I put back the instrumental. I'll go to emulation mastering. I'll throw in all the mastering plugins right there, and then once I get a feel of the outcome, I'll mute the emulation mastering plugins, and then I will bounce it by mixing it down into a WAV format again, 24-bit, and then from there I will bring it back for mastering, and then just get the preset that I did for emulation, just throw it there since I got a feel of how it will sound like. So I'll just throw it there and then mix it down again to an MP3, or and then after that it's out. So that's basically what I do. So right now let's go to the vocals. If he did it before. So there are just certain areas where I need to cut. So first thing that I love to add is an RVox or a maximizer. If you don't have RVox, you can put maximizer from Cubase 5 or Cubase 10.5. So our RVox, since I'm in mono, so I'm just gonna use RVox mono. Let me lift it up so you guys can be listen to this, listen to how it is working out. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you before. So I'm gonna set my compression, my RVox compression on 10.0. RVox works, it works as a compressor, though it like more like compressor and gain. It just lifts everything up. So -10.0 is okay. If he did it before, I feel like my guitar needs to be lifted up just a little bit. I'm gonna use compression just to increase the volume a little bit. If he did it before, he will do. I'm gonna use the wet gain, so I'll put it to plus 3.26, so that's okay. The compression is working well. If he did it. So right now I feel like the vocal is at that level where I can start balancing, since the instrumental is also on that level where I feel like the vocal is inside. That's what I want, is into the instrumental. So once you start feeling that the vocal is is like grabbing the instrumental, holding the instrumental, and just you know, working together with the instrumental, then you can start doing your balancing. If he did it before. So I'm gonna start with this, then what I'll work on this one, I'll try to throw it on the verse. If it works out, then those are gonna be my plugin chains for every vocal, this one and this one and this one. So for now I'm just gonna work with this one. So I'm gonna press P and put it on rotate so that I can work just on this. If he did it before. Alright, so RVox mono is working out well. What I'm gonna do is, let me close this, send this to group 1. So this is gonna go to group number 1. Group number 1, there is nothing there. What I love to do is try to throw in an EQ. Then from an EQ I will throw in auto-tune, because I can put auto-tune before I get to feel how the voice is like without any auto-tune first. I need to put an EQ. I can put an auto-tune before I feel how, before I take out those unwanted frequencies using EQ. So I'm gonna throw in an EQ from FabFilter Pro Q3, then I'll take it to 30 dB, and then this is what you do. Make sure you go to shape, and then you go to low cut, and then from there give it a 96 so that you can have this slope. So here we go. If he did. So So look at all these unwanted frequency. This is a big problem, especially in big speakers and just home theaters. Whenever you increase the bass, all this is unnecessary. All this from 50k, from 50 to 10, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, all this is unnecessary. So this is the frequency which if you don't get rid of this frequency, this frequency muds up your track cannot sound clean enough, and oftentimes the instruments tend to also feel muddy, and no wonder sometimes the track just sounds like, hey, what did I do to the track? Why isn't the track like working out? It's not working out because you did not get rid of this unwanted frequency, which is around 10, 20, 50, 100, and sometimes you can go to 140. It depends. So like me, I want to show you something. Check where this unwanted frequency is ending. If he did it. So mine is like this unwanted frequency is ending on 100, so I'm just gonna go to 100. If he did. So this is how you know, by just checking the levels. If he did it. The highest levels, like these higher levels, indicates that those are the frequencies which are needful in your instrumental or song or voice. If he did it before, he will do it again. So 96 for me is working out fine. So right now what I'm gonna try to do is sweep around, search for unwanted frequencies. If he did it before, he will do it again. This frequency is bad, so I'm gonna use my band to gain and reduce it to negative 3.60. If he did before, if he did it. Sounds cleaner. If he did it before. Can you guys tell the difference? Before? If he did it before. Even that boom, microphone boom, like was heard, but now that I have dealt with this frequency, which is around 210, it's like that the boom, like those boom 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 sounds are tamed right there and controlled. If he did it before. So let's search for more frequencies. If he did it before, he will do. If you don't deal with this frequency is gonna, once you start boosting and increasing volumes, this frequency is gonna disturb your ears, the listeners, especially when they are using earpods or headsets. This frequency, if not controlled, does damage to ears. So I'm just gonna reduce it to negative 2.95. If he did. This helps me to smoothen it up a little bit and to warm the vocal. So whenever you want to warm the vocal, work around the 2K area. It's really a high and harsh frequency, but don't overcut it because it's still gonna be needed in the in your vocal. If he did. I'm gonna go on sweeping around and checking for which one. If he did it before, he will do it again. This frequency right here sounds like I'm singing in a can, so I don't like that. I'm just gonna cut it. It's not good, so I'm gonna cut it to around 3, and then I'm gonna go to my cue and just try to cue it like that. If he did it
before.
So for now, I want you guys to take a listen to this before.
If he did it before.
And this is before. After.
If he did it before.
Before.
If he did it before.
After.
If he did it before.
Huge difference right there. Let me sweep for one more for the last time.
If he did it before, he will do it.
I'm just gonna cue in on this frequency and try to take it down to 3.1. Yeah, because I feel like this frequency right here, 500 area, is not good for me, for this vocal.
If he did it before, he will do it again.
Wow, beautiful. Just by EQing, removing unwanted, just take your time whenever you are EQing and mixing your track. Just take your time on EQ. I'm telling you, if you take your time on EQ, even before you add compression and the rest of the plugins, if you do your EQ very well, it's gonna sound like you compressed your vocal. It's gonna sound like you added a lot of plugins to your vocal. It's gonna sound like you added reverb to your vocal. It's gonna sound like you added very, very expensive plugins to your vocal, and yet you just took your time. So I advise you guys to take your time to really do your EQ. Take your time and EQ. Work on EQ before you go anywhere. Remove unnecessary frequencies. Listen to what your ears are telling you. Remove all unwanted noise from just using EQ. You can use EQ to remove unwanted noise, unwanted frequencies, booms, and microphone bumps. You can use EQ to EQ those unwanted frequencies, just like what I'm doing. Listen to this. This was before I did EQ. No compression. Look at this. It's empty. I'm just working on EQ, and once I'm done with EQ, it will sound like I've compressed, I've done everything, and yet it's just an EQ, just one plugin.
If he did it before.
Too much. That's not good. Unwanted frequencies. Too many unwanted frequencies. Now this is after.
If he did it before.
So right now I've created a lot of space for instruments. The vocal sounds clean. I've removed those frequencies which were trying to fight with strings, with the guitar, with the, so I've really created space. And right now the instrumental is like, you've really created space for us. We can now breathe. So this is what I've done.
If he did it before.
So I've just taken it back to 110. Why? Because I've done an EQ, I've done EQ, I've removed unwanted frequencies, and if I take it back like that, this side, I'm gonna bring back a little bit of the body, just a little bit, but it's not gonna affect the rest of my EQ'd places.
If he did it before, he will do it again.
This is before.
If he did.
After.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again.
So I love the way I've EQ'd. So what I'm gonna do is always save. So I'm gonna save this. I'm just free. That's what I'm gonna do for now. Then I'm gonna get the same thing and put it in my backing. So I'm gonna get the same preset that I just made, load, and then I'm gonna go to free. Boom, right there we have that one. Then I'm gonna also have it on the other vocal, because I recorded this on the same day, so the same place, the same space, so the frequencies are the same. Unless if I recorded these vocals in different places, I was gonna be able to do different EQ because of different places, but it's the same room, same time, and same place, so the frequencies are slightly the same. So I'm gonna add our vox on this one as well, this one, just the backing, just to lift it up just a little bit. This is not where I'm supposed to add my EQ. I'm supposed to add it in or I can use the same group channel. Let me just use group 1 for these, since they are just little vocals, and group 1 for this. I'm doing this because these are just 1, 2, 3 vocals. It's the same, so no problem. And then I'm just gonna add our vox on this one, our mono. Yeah, take it to 11.0, and then I'm gonna do the same to this one, our vox dynamics, our vox 11.0.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before.
Right now I feel like my guitar needs body. So just like what I said, during mixing there are some changes that just begin to take place. So my guitar, I've put some body, so whenever you want to put a body to your vocals, just work around the 200k area. That's gonna bring back the lost body. So here we go.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again.
Then I have my reverb, so I'm just gonna change this reverb to reverb 32. Yeah, and then I'm gonna put a plate. A plate is a shorter reverb. It works better. So, and then I'm gonna take my sense to
if he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you before.
my delay, I'm using double delay, and my mix is on 50. This is double delay. Most times it's like a quarter, so my delay times quarter. So just change. If you're using double delay, just change and put it there, change and put it there, just for it to have that effect like this.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before.
I know if you don't want your backings to have a delay, which normally is something that you must do, just take your backings to group 2. So like now I feel like I need to take my backings to group 2. so that I take out the delay, since my group 1 has delay for the main vocal. I want my main vocals to have that delay, accompanying delay. Then my backings, these backings should only have reverb. The reason why you should have only reverb on your backing vocals, or none at all, zero, no reverb, no delay, is because you don't want to muddy it up unless you know what you're doing. But I advise you to only put a little reverb on the backing so they can have space, but don't put delay, because they will fight and muddy up each other together with the main. They will muddy up each other, which that means that the main vocal will be fighting with the backing. So what I'm gonna do is change this to group number 2. Then I'm gonna go to group number 2 and then add in the same EQ and go to load, and then just take it back a little bit. And so this, my backing is gonna be in group 2. Then in group 2, what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna put delay, I'm just gonna put a little reverb 32, just to give these some widening, like space.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again.
Then the backings are a little bit low, so I'm just gonna increase and put my compression on negative 12.0.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you before, he will heal you again. And if he blessed you before, he will bless you again. So don't worry.
All right, so what next now? What next is I'm gonna add autotune. I'm gonna add autotune 8.1. I've got a preset for this. I'm gonna use autotune. Let me use this one. So I've got a preset.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did.
The reason why I'm adding autotune is because I want to smoothen my vocal. So I'll put my return speed on 10, just like that. Then I will the rest just on 0, 0, 0, 0. Humanize, I'll come back. Detune, I'm not gonna do anything there. I don't like that. So next what I'm gonna add is compression. So I'm gonna go to our compressor. You can use any compressor, so I'm gonna use our compressor stereo. See what I've done? I was using mono this side during recording, so I put RVox mono plugins, and then in group channels I'm using stereo. They are in stereo, so I'm using stereo plugins. So what I'm gonna do is let me try to smoothen the vocal a little bit by taking my attack on 1.39 or 1.40, somewhere there, 1.50 I mean. Then my release is gonna be on 160. Then my ratio is gonna be on 3 to 1, then threshold for it to start engaging, for the compressor to start working, you need to lower down the threshold. So this is what I'm gonna do now, and the volume is gonna decrease a little bit, but there is no problem. This is why we have the gain knob. I'm gonna raise it up from there. So here we go.
If he did it before, he will do it again.
All right, compression has started working, so increase the volume now.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again.
So now that we have engaged the compression, you can hear most of those words which were like in the background, like they are lifted up, and those other quieter parts which were really quiet have been lifted up. That's the work of compression. And if I like the way I've compressed, then I'm gonna keep it. So for now, I'm just gonna listen to the way the compression is working, and if I need to reduce a little bit where the threshold, I'm gonna reduce. If I need the ratio, I'm gonna reduce.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you before, he will heal you again. And if he blessed you before, he will bless you again. So don't worry, so don't worry, so don't worry, so don't worry.
There are those the S's. I'll trim them a little bit. The S's, or work on them using a de-esser. So you work on the S's using a de-esser. So that's where I'm coming from, from compression. Next, what you need to have is a de-esser. Whenever you engage compression lifts up the S's and the T's. So once you know that I've put in compressor, the next thing is gonna be de-essing. You just have to de-ess those sharp areas.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before,
I want my threshold to be negative 25.0.
If he did,
let me try my attack on fast on 15.2.
If he did it before.
The reason why I brought it back is because when I took it the other side on fast, the vocal became too soft. I wanted to bite a little bit, like this style. I wanted to bite a little bit, so I've just taken it back to 15.2.
If he did it,
so that it can there are certain transients which I want, which are supposed to bite through. If I take it back, it's gonna smoothen it much. I don't want it to sound like trap, or that modern trap sounds where the vocal is really squashed and really compressed hard. I want this one to have country type of feel, and at the same time transients which are a little bit coming out, just a little, if you understand, just a little, so that I can have that natural feel to it, like this.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it.
So I'm gonna set it on 11.0, just there.
If he did it before, he will do it
Right now I'm gonna go to de-essing, but first I'm gonna put my first de-esser, which is gonna be our de-esser stereo. Then I'm gonna try to set it on male de-es narrow 4K or 2K area. 4K area, yeah. I'm gonna try to listen to it. If it doesn't work out, then I'm gonna take it to 8K or 2K. 2K, 8K is meant for females, 4K males, 2K males as well, controlling the other frequencies. So I'm gonna use this first de-esser to control frequencies. The other frequencies which I don't like, I'm gonna remove them using this de-esser. Then the second de-esser is gonna work around 16K area. Why? This is the area where you tame and control the S and the T. Yeah, this area. So here we go.
If he did it before, he will do it again.
So the 4K area helps to tame those other harsh frequencies, and then also whenever you're using our de-esser 4K area, always know that the 4K area warms up your vocal and also tightens it up. So this is why I love the male 4K area. As for me right now, I feel like it's working out, and I love the sweetness 4K area has brought on my vocal, has put on my vocal, and I just love what has come out on my vocal just using this default. I can decrease it, increase it, or decrease it. So when I do like this, I decrease. When I do like this, I increase. So I think I'm gonna set it on 50, negative 50. Let's see.
If he did it before,
I need to remove a little bit of that de-es natural. I need the natural feel.
if he did it before, he will do it again.
So negative 45.0 is cool for me. It's great for me. Then my range, I'm not gonna remove the range. I'm just gonna set it where it is, maybe on 30. 30.9.
If he did it before, he will do it again.
So this has warmed up my vocal. Let me now look at if this hasn't worked, tamed or controlled the S's and the T's. I'm gonna add a second de-esser, and you've got to pay attention. Sometimes one our de-esser can work on the T's, the S's, and warm it up a little bit, and sometimes it just works on warming and just controlling the 4K area. But if it works out, I'm gonna leave only this one there.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you before, he will heal you again. And if he blessed you before,
there is an area which I need to work on, like the before. It's coming hard, so I know that I need to go and give to the 200K area needs a little bit of a dip. I need to cut it just a little bit right here, this area. Listen to this.
if he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before.
Yeah, I love this. So I was right. 200K area, 200 area needs needed this 2.6 or 2.4, somewhere there, negative 2.4. Yeah,
If he did it before,
there was this this bomb frequency. It was mudding it up, so I needed to. I've put it on -2.8.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you.
2.5. Then what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna come to Pro Q and then raise the 10K area.
If he did it before,
sounds way much better now.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again.
Of course, don't forget to save.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you before, he will heal you again. And if he blessed you before, he will bless.
I'm raising up the 5K area also, just giving it a little, like 1.4 plus 1.4.
If he did,
I want to bring out the presence, lift up the vocal a little bit.
If he did it before, he will do it again.
So what I'm gonna do is save this preset and save it to just like that, and then I'm gonna get the same preset and then put it here in group 2. So I have the same preset in group 1, in group 2, and this is gonna be my group 2 is here, and this is my group 1. Let me listen to this area.
The God who opened the door will open again.
The backings a little bit higher.
The God who opened the door will open again. The God who did it before will do it again. Oh yeah. His hand is not short, nor his ear down, so he hears your prayers every day. He never sleeps, no slumbers, for you, yes, for you. His mercy endures forever, and always stays the same. Oh yeah. His grace is sufficient for you, and his blood always speaks for you. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did,
So I'm gonna decrease the backings.
he will do it again. If he did,
These are the backings for the vocal, for the chorus, so I know that it's the same even on this one.
he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again.
Violin needs to be increased.
He will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you,
Alright, verse 2.
the God of Abraham is still alive.
Decrease the backings, they're too high.
the God of Abraham,
I'm just coming on this volume.
the God of Abraham is still alive today. The God of Israel is still at work today.
These backings are the same as these ones, so these ones just highlight. I check the volume, which is negative 5.00. okay, so I'm just gonna take these ones to negative 5.00. I'm gonna take these ones to negative 5.00, since all of these are the same.
The God of Abraham is still alive today. The God of Israel is still at work today. The same power that worked.
I'm gonna increase the strings now just a little bit.
The God of Abraham is still alive today. The God of Israel.
I'm gonna leave the strings on 8.09.
The God of Abraham is still alive today. The God of Israel is still at work today. The same power that worked before is still at work today. The same power that worked before is still at work today. The same God, same power with the same miracles is still at work today. If He did it before, He will do it again.
Violin, reduce a little bit.
He will do it again. If He did it before, He will do it again. If He healed you before, He will heal you.
Alright, verse number 3.
He is hope to the hopeless, strength.
Decrease these ones.
He is hope to the hopeless, strength to the weak.
I'm gonna try to reduce these a little bit.
He is hope, He is hope, He is hope to the hopeless.
And there's the that needs to be worked on.
He is hope,
Right
He
there.
is hope, He is hope, He is hope, He is hope.
I'm using the fade in effect. Just try to work on that P.
He is hope to the hopeless, strength to the weak. He is love when your heart broken, shelter from the rain. He knows your name and He feels your pain. You're not alone. He holds your life in the palm of His hand. You're not alone. His grace is sufficient for you, and His blood always speaks for you. If He did it before, He will do it again. If He did it before, He will do again. And if he blessed you before.
Now what I just need to do is I realized that during EQing and from EQing trying to add in compression and raising the vocals, the voice, the volume, what happens is whenever you're doing compression and raise up the volumes, you also raise up the floor noise, so that noise which is on the floor gets raised up, and if you don't work on it, it becomes a big problem to your mixing. So how do you control that? You control that by throwing in a denoiser. So from after doing all these, throw in a denoiser. So I'm gonna put in restoration, then I'm gonna use Cubase denoise. I'm gonna put it on medium and see how it works out from there.
He is hope to the hopeless, strength to the weak. He is love when your heart broken, shelter from the rain. He knows your name and he feels your pain. You're not alone.
I'm gonna do the same to this restoration where you denoiser, then I'm gonna put on medium.
He is hope to the hopeless, strength to the weak. He is love when your heart broken, shelter from the rain. He knows your name and he feels your pain. You're not alone. He holds your life in the palm of his hand. You're not alone. His grace is sufficient for you, and his blood always speaks for you. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he
I'm gonna decrease this to just a little to -6.
He is hope. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did
-7.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you before, he will heal you again. And if he blessed you before, he will bless you again. So don't worry. So don't worry. So don't worry. So don't worry. If he did.
All right, so where we are right now, I love where we have arrived with the vocal and with just the way things have turned out with this particular vocal. And now what I'm gonna do is bring my denoiser. My denoiser is always the last one. Add a little bit of saturation. So I'm gonna use a tape saturator. So let me go to distortion, then see if I can use isotope 7 vintage tape just to add that saturation to this. Then All right, I'm gonna go to the presets, or I'm just gonna increase the highs, the high emphasis, group 1. Then I'm gonna increase the low also. You just increase, I'm gonna increase, and then if there is need for me to decrease, I'm gonna decrease. So here we go.
If he did it before, he will do.
Saturation, you just want to warm it up a little bit more and just give it that excitement. That's the reason why I'm adding a vintage tape.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna add also a saturator, vintage. I'm gonna go to distortion. Then I'm gonna add tape, vintage, isotope, vintage. And I'm gonna increase the high, the low just there. Then the harmonics, I want the harmonics to come out. Then my bass, I'm gonna set it on 4.0. Then my input right there. Then my speed, I want my speed to be on 15, not too fast, just there. So guys, for now, this is how it sounds like. And then tomorrow we are going to do mastering. So this is just mixing, then tomorrow we are gonna master this song. I hope you guys have loved it. So just take a listen to how far. First, I'm just gonna mute this so you guys can be able to listen to what we have done. All these out, all these out, this out, this out. So it sounds like this.
If he did it before, he will do it.
So it sounds bad, right? Then we had to put Fab Filter Q, Pro Q3, Auto Tune to smoothen the vocal, R compressor to compress the vocal and the other transients, then RDS, 4K area, then isotope, ozone vintage tape, saturation, then denoiser to remove noise, background noise, same plugins even in this one, same thing, and RVox to warm it up, RVox again to warm the vocal, RVox again to warm the vocal. So finally, just within a short period of time, this is what we have done to the vocal. And tomorrow I'll come back and do the mastering, and if there is more need for me to touch it, I'm gonna touch it once more. Remember, the song is never finished. There is always something that you can always add to, just ideas. So if you guys have loved this, give me a like, and don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe. Listen to how far we've gotten now.
If he did it.
Let me start it from the first.
If he did it before, he will do it again. If he did it before, he will do it again. If he healed you before, he will heal you again. And if he blessed you before, he will bless you again. So don't worry. So don't worry. So don't worry. So don't worry. The God who opened the door will open again. that God who did it before will do it again. Oh yeah, His hand is not short, nor His ear down, so He hears your prayers every day. He never sleeps, no slumbers, for you, yes, for you. His mercy endures forever, it always stays the same. Oh yeah, His grace is sufficient for you, and His blood always speaks for you. If He did it before, He will do it again. If He did it before, He will do it again. If He healed you before, He will heal you again. And if He blessed you before, He will bless you again. So don't worry, so don't worry, so don't worry, so don't worry. The God of Abraham is still alive today. The God of Israel is still at work today. The same power that worked before is still at work today. The same power that worked before is still at work today. The same God, same power with the same miracles is still at work today. If He did it before, He will do it again. If He did it before, He will do it again. If He healed you before, He will heal you again. And if He blessed you before, He will bless you again. So don't worry, so don't worry, so don't worry, so don't worry. He is hope to the hopeless, strength to the weak. He is love when you're heartbroken, shelter from the rain. He knows your name and He feels your pain. You're not alone. He holds your life in the palm of His hand. You're not alone. His grace is sufficient for you, and His blood always speaks for you. If He did it before, He will do it again. If He did it before, He will do it again. If He healed you before, He will heal you again. And if He blessed you before, He will bless you again. So don't worry, So don't worry. So don't worry. So don't worry.